I think this is time now for the 60 seconds of cancel yourself time.
Okay.
Sponsored by Louis.
Yeah.
Louis.
Do you have a hot take here?
Yeah, I've got a very hot take here.
Okay. I'm excited.
I'm actually still forming on just how bad I'm going to cancel myself.
Okay. We've added ourselves as a propaganda machine. We hate women.
Olympic level mental gymnastics. This is how we rationalize it.
Yeah, we are a propaganda machine. We hate mixed. Excellent. No one's going to watch.
Yeah.
It's just Natalie and your brother who are going to
Spider-Man.
be disappointed.
Yeah, big. I mean, my brother has no idea what's going on in Ultimate as a real life.
No one else can. The audience for this is like 12 whole people.
We
just got to get 6 of them to vote.
Minutes,
we need 6 of you to vote.
For swapping the seasons around.
Yeah, our watch time 7 minutes and we're like 45 minutes.
Yeah, we actually every 7 minutes we should just be like, we need you.
We need you to vote.
Vote in the SAFTA AGM for swapping the seasons around. Every 7 minutes we do that. But right back to the cancel minute, sponsored
cancel
by
yourself here.
LUISBUQUE, because I can't pronounce it.
Shout out to Louis.
Women can't coach themselves. So I mean, that's the basis entry. I'm gonna try and supersede you.
Okay, we're going big today.
I'm moonballing this take.
Okay.
So I don't think it's fair to have a predominantly mixed dominated season and then require with no alternatives. And the reason I say that is looking at just the experience of Marty's in the past, where I started out playing. I went to a pickup in 2013. Someone acted this to me. I laid out and scored in the end zone, and they immediately asked me to come to nationals.
Yes.
So, I mean, back in the day, I remember playing touches, and I thought, can you guys just please... I saw people play Ultimate, like in 2012, and I thought, can you guys just please play a real sport? It's embarrassing for everyone involved.
I'm glad your opinion hasn't changed in 11 years.
So that was my entry, and then, being... myself, I still am. So my hot take is, having seen everything happening at Marty's, which is I think one of the biggest feeders of Cape Town Ultimate players, and probably in the country, just numbers wise now, especially with you getting Resley going.
Well, I would shout out to UCT. UCT's also done a great job, but I do think the feeders, the vast majority of people have started playing at varsity, whether that was Wits in Joburg or Stellenbosch or UCT. The intro to our sport has been in varsity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you make it difficult for your feeders to play somewhere. So now again, from let's say the varsity perception is you need to go and harass your friends who did not have Y chromosomes to please come and play Ultimate, just so that you could have numbers.
Yes.
So that the 10, 11, 12 guys who were super keen to play could just play for half the duration of the year. If you didn't do that, then you need to play with 6 players. Shout out 2019 regionals, where you ended up playing with 6 players and still playing the first team in. I mean, that's all story.
Yeah, maybe that's another podcast.
Yeah, I think we'll cover what happened in the 2019.
That'll be interesting. And I haven't shared my perspective.
Marco became persona non grata in Cape Town. Cancelled himself.
Yeah.
Made himself public enemy number 1. He took it. Oops. Back. Oops. Yeah. But me back to cancelling myself. Yes.
Yeah.
So not only is there Okay, so without even looking at the argument of saying, well, women develop slower in the mixed game, which I guess there are different takes on that as well, where people say, no, but look, there's a lot of strong international countries that play mixed. I would argue that the people on those teams at the World Games don't play mixed in the full season. For example, the team Bad Skid we played in 2022 had a member missing from the club team. They were playing
the Opens club team.
Yeah, the Opens club team, because he caught COVID. So, I mean, look at America. Their mixed team always consists of people who primarily only plays Opens, and then some
of the women do play mixed on the mixed team, but the men pretty much exclusively play Opens.
So
there might be one or two.
If
I don't know.
If that's
but
an
the
indication.
main,
But I mean, that's an outlier. You could argue. But so back to the not providing opportunities for people to play in general. So with the change from 2-4 or 2-5 to 3-4 to 4-3,
to
and
4-3,
now women need to start pulling.
They have to pull
as well.
Yes.
And that was a systemic way to try and encourage women to touch the disc more, because even in the mixed scene, it wasn't happening. With the recognized as a problem, and we're not
so
saying it's not a problem. It's definitely
no, we agree that it's a problem.
It's definitely a problem.
But we had to change the rules multiple times to get women to touch the disc more in mixed.
Because South Africa also started as mixed, and I think it's also in the SAFTA proposal, it's always just been that way. But looking back now in the past 20 years, I think it basically just killed Ultimate, because you would have, like in Marty's, again, this is just anecdotal, but you would have a lot of people rock up, and then they would spend less time practicing Ultimate, enjoying it, and just spend a disproportionate amount of time begging other women to come and play the sport. So now this is where I cancel myself, where if women want to play Ultimate, don't force mixed onto everyone and then make it the men's problem to get women. Go sort yourselves out, play women's, get women to play, and if there's enough women to then actually put a team together for a mixed event, go do that. But otherwise, why should it be my problem if I just want to play Ultimate? And the barrier to entry for me playing Ultimate for half the year is begging women who have never played the sport and has no real interest really to play the sport to come and just be on the field so that I can play. Did I cancel myself sufficiently?
You definitely a hot take. I think there might be more people who agree with you. Well,
and they're all misogynistic. The chances are.
So this is I have a let's say a question, a hypothetical question about that. Okay. Let's say that we are highly misogynistic.
Yes.
Do you think playing mixed Ultimate in Cape Town makes us more or less or neutral?
That would make me more.
More.
Yes.
So let's say we're just now very, very slightly misogynistic.
Mm-hmm.
Same question. More or less or neutral?
Well, within Ultimate context, it probably makes me less likely. Well, that's just because I'm a trash human being, and I when I lose, I blame other people and not just myself.
Correct. I do the same thing.
Right. You see. Yeah. So clearly, it's actually, you know what? I think we're getting to a lot of this. Shout out Miguel. I'm just bad at Ultimate, and I can't hit that woman running.
I'm just not good enough at throwing to women on the field.
I'm not good enough, and I'm like, well, if ever was a guy, my throw would have been fine.
I can throw a shit throw,
and Janeman will get.
Yeah. Janeman's fast.
Exactly. I think we're getting. We're just
bad Ultimate players.
Yes, and we're projecting that, giving women the fault, where it's actually just us not being able to throw well enough. Also, shout out Miguel, who I think no one knows him, but he's like
I'll send it to Miguel. I'll send the video to Miguel.
That were mixed is for people who think.
Miguel no think.
Miguel athlete. And the problem is I'm not even athletic enough to make that statement. We're just a thinker, but even me. So if we need to, sorry about your question about misogynist. Like if I'm very misogynistic or slightly playing women's, I probably just need to check myself at this stage and be like, well, I need to develop my touch throws or just being better at hitting women. Into space.
What I'm trying to get at though is, does mixed Ultimate improve relationships between sexes, the male and female sexes?
But should that be the vehicle through which? Well, wait, I'm confused now. I was trying to cancel myself, and now I'm not sure where we're going.
I think there's a thought that people who don't want to play mixed are misogynistic because they don't like playing with women, or there's something and this isn't a fully formed idea, I guess, that I have, but it's kind of something that's been in the back of my mind recently. Is like maybe there's this idea that you're not playing mixed because you hate women. But my sort of counter thought to that is, do you think playing mixed would improve my opinions towards women?
Okay.
And then why or why not?
Right. So, well. Can I ask you a different question?
Yeah.
I think we're going way off the rails here now.
Okay.
If you are playing, we're in a world where there is no gender.
Okay.
Everyone is.
Oh, this is.
There's a new species that discovered ultimate. They are all, what do you call it? Like unisex. They can all reproduce like singular cell organisms, whatever. They just basically.
I see what you mean. I see. Okay.
They just split into and then new person. Ta-da!
I think I know where you're going with this.
Okay. If you were playing on that team and you had people who were just slower than the other people and not as tall, and couldn't necessarily run as fast. Would you prefer to play on that team or a team with just everyone at the same athletic level, or like, let's say, average base level of ability?
Are you trying to get me to cancel myself?
Well, two's company, three's a crowd. So I mean, I've cancelled myself.
Okay. Well,
but
pick an option 2. The one with the same baseline, right? Okay.
And why? Why do you think that is? For you, specifically in this world where everyone.
Well, okay. Am I one of the slow ones in option 1?
Well, answer both. Yes and no.
Okay,
yes.
So if I like to be on teams where I am one of the worst players,
okay,
so that's a great way to get better.
Mm-hmm.
If there's kind of, I don't think a team where the dynamic is split skill-wise. So I think what you're trying to get is option 1 is that maybe half the team kind of has the skills and the other half the team maybe has less skills. So there's a split. There's maybe a binomial distribution in some of the skills like speed and strength and whatever else. I don't think that's a sustainable team.
Why do you say that?
This is just from kind of years of volleyball coaching. So I'm going out of the realm of ultimate completely now.
Mm-hmm.
But there's... You want to bring a team together. And so having a more sort of normal distribution of skills is helpful. Especially across sort of a multi-dimensional sport, because you can have people who bring kind of skill X to the table, but maybe not skill Y, and someone else can bring skill Y. But if half your team is sort of bringing all of the skills, and the other half isn't really bringing anything, there's not a good argument for you to be using that other half. And I know where we're going with this, and that I've just canceled myself in its entirety.
Okay, but if the other team has the same setup, does it really matter? If the other team also has binomial distribution of the skills, doesn't everything just equal out?
But then I think both teams are just playing with their higher.
Right. So let's say there's hypothetical situation. Binomial distribution, team A puts up a long disc, and one of the less skilled players are running to the end zone. They get there, they beat their one-on-one matchup. But however, one of the the higher skilled players from the defensive line just broke away from their mark, and skies that person in the end zone, gets the D, basically. Effectively, that person wasn't able to contribute because they were, let's say, a lower skilled. So are we saying that Ultimate is a sport where such a big skill differential leads itself to being exploited more often?
I would, if we're going to bring it back into reality, I would be careful to say that in general. Well, okay, so like in terms of the US, there are female mixed players who are phenomenal. There are also male mixed players who are phenomenal. It's a little bit better distributed skill-wise, especially at the highest level. In South Africa, I do think that is more of an issue because we're not keeping women in the game. So there's a very small talent pool. There's some women in South Africa who are very good, but there's a lot more men who are at that level. And because we're playing mixed, those women sort of get distributed, or maybe not, throughout the teams. Because we have to play mixed, everyone else has to just go find women to play who aren't from that talent pool and who aren't really from the Ultimate community. And then it's a systemic issue because they don't get the discs, they don't get better, because we're trying to win. And then the women don't want to play anymore because they don't get the disc, because no one's throwing to them, and they don't necessarily like their team. And I know there's, at least at Monty's, and I've heard from other clubs, and I know other clubs may at this point be like, no, this never happens here. But I know that there's been arguments between some of the like female handlers and female cutters and the male cutters in organization.
As Jason would say, Marco, please share the tea.
So I just...
Without naming
names.
Yes.
So I know this has been a problem at UCT before. I know this has been a problem at Chile.
Marco, without naming names, please.
I'm naming teams.
Oh, I see what you did there. My bad.
Yeah. I'm not naming...
Welcome to being cancelled once more. Sorry.
I know.
Bye.
So I know it's been a problem at Catch. The reason I know it's been a problem is because when I developed that kind of 15-person player pool at Monty's, I actually started lending out women to other teams because I know they didn't have them, and they were reaching out because they needed players. So I gave, in 2019, I lent players pretty consistently to Chile Heat and Catch 22. On a fairly regular basis.
Marco, that doesn't sound like you at all.
I know. I'm the massive misogynist who's done terrible things to Women's Ultimate, which
you single-handedly.
Yeah. I know it's because I put two of the Wild Dogs players on the second team. I know. Okay? I know.
We'll never let you live that down, Marco. American, coming here.
And I'm not...
benching Wild Dogs players out there.
I'm not saying that I'm not misogynistic. Part of the reason I've had this thought is because when I go an extended period without playing mixed, I have a generally more positive attitude towards women. And so that's why I've stopped playing mixed. Because I want to like the ladies, okay? I want to like them. I want them to like me, okay?
Single.
So I stopped. I stopped playing mixed.
Some bombshells.
I want the ladies to like me, okay?
But okay, that's
I want to have female friends again. I made all of them play Ultimate, and now none of them talk to me anymore.
That's rough.
It's been.
This is now turned into
time.
This is now
therapy.
A mental health episode. So Mark, how's life? Otherwise, you're well, mate.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I started.
How are things been going since you've stopped playing mixed, Marco?
They've been going well. Okay, they've been going really well. I'm much happier. I don't have to beg anyone to play Ultimate anymore. I just go to America. I join an opens team. They never throw me the disc because I'm bad. But it's a happy life. I'm out there on the field with my new friends.
Shout out Asbestos Attack.
Shout out Asbestos Attack.
Winners of 2023 Summer League in Colorado Springs.
Summer League champs, baby. Undefeated. It's a good time. It's a good time. I love that system because Colorado Springs recognized we have a lot more males than females. So instead of having a mixed season and an open season / women's season, let's just have one league and you can pick. Do you want to play mixed or do you want to play opens? And that way everyone gets to play because you don't have guys who get kicked off a team because we don't have enough women. And your mixed teams are basically just however many women you do have. You can make mixed teams and everyone else plays opens. It's a wild system in which more people get to play ultimate.
But Margaret, to be fair, there's more people in Colorado Springs that are willing to drive like how many miles to get to the field to play. So
I drove. Well, you were there too. Yeah. We drove about 20 miles. Now, they did not pick a good location. They did not pick a central location to host Colorado Springs Ultimate.
And yet the fields were full with mixed opens and women's.
And yet every Wednesday there were 5 fields with 10 teams on them. Yeah. And every team had 14 people. So it was nice. It was fun.
It was a vibe.
Yeah. And there were beers on the sideline. People were having a good time. No one took it very seriously at all.
As they should not.
As they should not, because it's just Colorado Springs Summer League.
Yeah.
And yet, it was some of the best level of Ultimate I've played in a long time.